love you so much.
I love you too. Vic! Vic. Vic. Vic, are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Your face.
Fuck it down! No! Chloe, we're good. Chloe, get up. Chloe? Gloria? Babe?
Yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man, VACAY-J, and man, this was an intense episode, fam. I mean, we find out D-Mac is a mathematical genius. You know, Walter Flynn, he got crazy plans up his sleeve. And yeah, your boy Jannar, he goes off the chain to get that Dahlia. So we're going to break down this episode, recap and review. We're going to get right into it. If you're new and loving Power Book 4 Force, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Absolutely like and comment below. And absolutely, let's get into it. So Tommy, he is back on the streets with that new Dahlia. He is with Miss Soto and the gang. And yeah, they getting into it. He's letting her know that he has the good, the next level, that they tried out and they're ready for it. And she's basically questioning him like, yo, how do we know it's legit? How do we know it's good if it's not glowing and everything else like that? And basically, Tommy's just on some like, listen, I got it, 55 a key. If y'all can match that, y'all can get up with that, then we can make this thing happen. So the Hasidic Jews, they join the party as well, and they're ready to do the deal. But again, there's mad questions. And Tommy is like, listen, I don't move trash. Go ahead and try it. So they try it out. And yeah, you already know, because they finally got that formula right. You know, Lauren, the scientist, she got it right. The guy tries it out. He's like, wow, it's the same thing. So Tommy's like, the people have spoken. 55 a key. Let's make it happen. So Miss Soto, she's like, give me 3 of these. And the Hasidic Jewish guy says, yeah, I'll take 3 as well. All right, so we see that Dahlia is hot in the streets, and yes, the streets want it. Absolutely. Tommy has more than enough to give them the supply. So this Dahlia is flying off the handle, right? So we see Walter Flynn. Again, we found out that he has lung cancer, and he's talking with his physician, and they're talking about options. I mean, they said that his wife, this is not the same thing his wife had, so it's good that they caught it kind of early so he can prevent himself from dying. But we know Walter, he's going to do whatever he wants to do. So yeah, Tommy is talking to Liliana about how they need to get another chemist, another scientist, because yeah, like the demand is very, very high. You know, Liliana's like, yeah, we can let the scientists go home. He's like, nah, the demand is too high. And she's like, so who else are we going to get, you know, that you can trust in Chicago? Or you're going to get somebody from New York? You know, and he's like, you know what? That's the $1 million question. Who can Tommy trust to be around the product, not steal it, and not try to basically mess things up? So that's the $1 million question. So we see now Tommy is with JP. They're working on the house. You know JP, he's a handyman. He's working on some carpet. And yeah, Tommy is talking to him or whatever. They're going back and forth. But Tommy's thinking, because he's looking at JP like, yo, he's good with his hands. JP might be good in the lab to turn around and cook some stuff up. So he's like, what are you doing? And Tommy's like, I'm thinking. He's like, that looks painful. So he's like, what's going on, man? I'm trying to catch a break. You already know my situation, you know, and dad needs a stent. He needs this. And, you know, Tommy's like, hey, are you good with your hands? Like, how good were you in school with science? So he's just sitting there like, I guess he's pretty good. You know what I mean? Hey, it's JP, right? Looks like he's pretty good with science. So now we got Tommy and he's talking to Claude. And Claude is talking on some like, yeah, well, CBI has that pipeline. Why don't we offer this up to CBI as far as Dahlia, as far as being a distro? And he was like, nah, not right now because Jannard is involved. Diamond's my guy. And, you know, when it's the right time and Diamond wants to come on, I'm going to put Diamond on. But with Jannard being involved and CBI and them having family problems, listen, it's not a good time. It's not a good look right now. So, you know, she's on some like, listen, I don't like how you're maneuvering your power, you know, how you're just kind of making calls. And he's like, listen, man, don't mix power with vision. And again, I'm not your father. Don't mess this thing up. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. Don't mess it up because you got your feelings hurt, basically. So Jannard, speaking of Jannard, he's in the barbershop with Diamond. And Diamond's on some like, yo, if you were in charge, meaning that he's not, if you were in charge, what would you be doing right now with CBI? And, you know, Jannard is on some like, oh, you want to learn something and everything. He's like, you know, Diamond's like, yeah, I'm not too old to learn. I'm open to learn. So hypothetically, Jannard is like, listen, if I was in charge, then I would put everything that I got behind this new product that's on the street. He's talking about Dahlia. So again, Diamond's like, nah, too many variables. Not with it. So Tommy finally tells Liliana that he has a brother. And she's like, oh, I'm honored. He's like, yo, get out of here. So he's also telling her that, yes, he wants to bring in JP to possibly be a scientist or possibly be in the lab, cooking up stuff just to help out as far as increasing the supply for the increasing demand. So she's like, oh, is he a scientist? Like, nah, he plays the sax. She's like, what is he gonna play, jazz while we cooking up this stuff? He's like, no, he's really good with his hands. And yeah, we could teach him. I know you can teach him whatever needs to be done. So we see Mr. Seamus, and he's being approached by another cop, and he's asking him, hey, how long you been in the Flynn's pocket? So he's like, oh, yeah, they paying me $100,000, whatever. You know, I got to take care of my sister. He's like, listen, I want $50,000 a week, just like you. And he's like, yo, how am I going to do it? He's like, you make it happen. I'll give you 2 weeks. So now Walter Flynn is talking to Claude. He's like, what have you been up to? She's like, I just been here and there doing whatever I want to do. You know, she's not going to tell him that she's behind Dahlia with Tommy. So he's like, yo, whatever you doing, I'm going to find out and I'm going to crush it. I'm going to crush it and it's going to totally be terrible for you and whatever. And Claudia is like, yo, if you touch whatever I'm trying to do, I want to fight back. So just look forward to that. So Claudia ain't playing. All right. So now Vic, he's talking to Seamus, the cop. He's like, yo, there's Dahlia on the street. I need you to find out what's going on with it. And he's like, listen, I don't do drug busts. He's like, listen, what I can do, what I want you to do is I want you to remove the obstacles so we can get to the Dahlia. So now we got Jannard and Blackston. And Jannard's like, listen, you get information on the Dahlia, where we can get it. Absolutely, there's 20 G's on the table that I'm gonna put up for whoever, you or whoever that gets that information. So he's willing to put $20,000 up just to find out exactly where or who is carrying that Dahlia, period. So, you know, Jannard, they got some cake. They definitely got some money. So now we see Vic and he's talking to Walter. And Walter's like, boy, I need you to go ahead and find out what's going on with your sister and all this and that. And, you know, he's always putting her brother to follow her. I mean, like, why? You know, Vic got his own life. And he's like, listen, I'll do whatever it is, but listen, whatever's going to go down as far as me reigning, once you're gone, Gloria's going to be by my side. There's nothing you could do about it. She's going to be by my side with it. And Walter, of course, he's like, as long as I'm alive, that's not going to happen. It's like, why are you trying to keep Vic away from Glow? If they're in love, just let them be in love, man. Like, what is the problem? Just because, you know, your wife is gone and you're sick and yeah, Glow is black and not Irish. Like, come on, man. That's just crazy. So, you know, Walter's on some stuff. He's on some stuff, but Vic doesn't care. It is what it is. So now we shoot to the hospital and we got Grandma. Grandma, she's in the hospital now. She went from the home. Now something's wrong. She's sick. Of course, JP's there to comfort her and everything else like that. He tells Grandma, try to get some rest, right? So, you know, he's comforting her, gives her a kiss on the hand, and then he walks out to go to talk to the nurse as far as like who signed, who's on the paperwork or whatever. And then there's an emergency that happens, right? So they're running down the hallway, but they're going into Grandma's room. What's going on with Grandma, right? So she's in there, JP peeks in there, and like, you listen, sir, you got to stay back. I mean, she's flatlining and they're trying to bring her back to life. They're trying their best to just bring her back to life. I mean, I don't know. When he said, get some rest, I guess she was like, okay, I'm going to get some rest. And she let go. So Grandma is now dead. Rest in peace, Grandma. For real. Of course, JP, he's hurt by that. You know what I'm saying? He's a family man. JP's a family man. He loves his family. So he calls Tommy. Tommy comes over. He's like, yo, what happened? He's like, I don't know. You know, I left her for a second. And then they ran in there trying to revive her and everything. And she just let go. She just passed away, man. So, you know, of course, they're upset about it all. And, you know, JP's just like, listen, man, I've been putting some stuff together. I put the videotapes on a flash drive for you. So I'm going to give this stuff to you and everything else like that, right? So, you know, they're not really good at this whole death thing, but, you know, they're definitely on some like, JP's on some family stuff. Like JP is trying to preserve the family the best way he can. You know, at the same time, he got stuff going on with his dad. But yes, he gives Tommy a box of like family stuff for him to have. Like, you know, that was real special for JP to do that. You know what I'm saying? JP's very thoughtful when it comes down to family and his brother. So now we got a meet with Tommy and Walter Flynn. And Walter called for Tommy to come through. And he's like, hey, boy, what's going on? You want to, you know, schlepsha, you want to drink, you know? And he's like, nah, I'm good. It's like, it's all good. You call me, it's all good. So Paulie walks away. They're sitting down and talking. And he's like, yeah, you know, my boy, my son, he's making some bad decisions. And Tommy's like, yeah, we know. You made that clear. We know what's going on. We know how you feel about, you know, your son and your daughter and everything else like that. It's like, yeah, but you keep the manage to stay alive. And Tommy's like, yeah, I'm pretty good out in those streets, you know? And Walter's like, listen, you're more than pretty good. Like, you're really more than pretty good. So he's actually giving him a compliment. And he says, how would you like to join the Flynn organization? The Flynn organization. And Tommy's like, oh, I didn't know this was an interview. I would have wore a suit and a big sign that said, go yourself, right? Because I seen how you acted at Dr. Parker's, man. And he's like, well, I seen how you acted in Dr. Parker's when, you know, Gloria's heart just jumped into your throat and all this and that. And you guys were messing around with the same girl. I mean, he gets real dirty with it. And Tommy's just like, yo, whatever, man, I'm out of here, right? And he says, I wish you were still messing around with Glow because I want to see your face after everything is all said and done. Meaning that, yeah, Walter put a hit out on Gloria. And yeah, Tommy's realizing that. So who goes to the barbershop? Your girl, Claude. Diamond's like, yo, this is not the place for you to get a blowout. Wrong place, right? So he's like, what are you doing here? You know, on the south side, what are you doing here? And she's like, I want to make you an offer, you know, of the product that's definitely going to blow your mind and change your life, right? So she's going behind Tommy's back to go to talk to Diamond, even though Tommy told Claude, like, yo, Diamond's my man. I'm going to put him on. So she's trying to offer Diamond 10%. And Diamond's smart. He's like, listen, for you to offer me 10%, that means you have partners. And if your partners ain't here, that's mean you doing stuff behind their back and everything else like that. I refuse to offer. So he opens up the door. He's like, whatever. And she's like, He's like, is it Dahlia? And she's like, goodbye, Diamond. So he knows it's Dahlia. So now we see Paulie and Walter, and Paulie just is like, yo, how long you gonna keep pushing these kids away? The way you treat them, man, you know, it's just not good. They're not gonna wanna mess around with you. They're not gonna wanna do business with you. So Walter's like, listen, call off that hit on Gloria. And Paulie's like, listen, I never put the hit on for Gloria. And he's like, oh, okay. He realized, like, yo, Paulie ain't listening to him. Paulie is not going to do something that's going to mess things up for the kids. He's going to look out for the family all the way, right? So your boy Tommy goes to Vic after, you know, having that conversation with Walter. It's like, you and Glow gotta go. Y'all gotta get out of town. Here's my car. Took out the GPS. It's untraceable. Stay off the highways. You know, definitely take the back roads, whatever, but get out of Illinois and just go. And he's like, you know, he's like, why? He said, because I have a, you know, space for romance. And Vic is like, I don't believe you. He's like, well, believe that I want to look out for her, if anything. You know what I'm saying? I gave you a pass with that whole buyout thing, but you need to protect Gloria at all costs, man. Get out of Illinois and just go, man. Just go, because, yeah, I saw your father, and yeah, he basically told him, like, your father got a hit out on Gloria, right? So now we see Diamond, and Diamond is talking to Adrian, right? And he's basically on some like, yeah, you know, basically, I know you looked me up and I looked you up and I know exactly who you are. So what are you doing here? Why are you in my bed? Like, why are you here? And she's like, well, I was supposed to meet this guy, Elijah, at that diner, but he never showed up. You know, Elijah, he passed away through the whole Serbian thing. And she's like, yeah, as far as that story on you, I don't want to do it. And he's like, well, why? Why? She's like, because you're more than a story to me. Okay, she's feeling him. So now we see Tommy looking at some old pictures of JP, you know, when he was younger, and then of Kate and him when they were younger. And of course, he's like, he really is not feeling his mom because, again, he said that she fell in love with a ghost instead of loving him. So he looks at the flash drive that JP put together. He sees those videos on the screen and everything of Tommy and Kate. And, you know, he's really having like a sentimental moment right there. You know what I'm saying? And he's looking at all the videos. He's reminiscing of those times that he had with his mom. So he takes it, packs it up, and then he stashes it, right? So now he takes some money to Claude. And Claude is like, hey, listen, you know, I want to just be out front, a little bit more out front and not in the background. You know, I know you're in the front, but we had an arrangement. And he's like, okay, you want to be out front? That's fine. You handle the clubs, I'll handle the street, and we'll just keep doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, yeah, well, my father, he wants to destroy, you know, what we have, what I have, da, 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 da. He's like, listen, whatever you have is mine too, so I'm not going to let anybody destroy you. So Vic goes to Glow's apartment, and she's there. Welcome back, Glow. Haven't seen you in like 2 episodes. So he rolls up on her. He's like, hey, you're back? He's like, yeah, you know, I had to get myself together. I'm sorry. And then he goes in. I thought he was going to propose. He got down on his knee, but really he sat down. And he sat down, and she sat on top of him. And yeah, they're talking about just getting away. He's like, listen, I sold the property. I paid off your debt. We could take that money, make a fresh start. How about we go and we leave? Just say yes. And she's like, you know what? Yes, let's go. Let's start a brand new life. Let's do it without anybody else. So, you know, that property was worth millions of dollars. So they have more than enough money to do whatever they need to do. So Tommy's going to his car and look at D-Mac. He's, you know, peeping over this pole, and Tommy's like, yeah, I see you, man. He's like, how do you see me? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got eyes in the back of your head, right? So, you know, Tommy's just like, yo, what good news do you have for me right now? He's like, I don't really got no good news, man. You know, I'm just doing my thing, but how about you put me on? You know? And he's like, oh, you not down with CBI anymore? He's like, not really. And he's like, Tommy's like, listen, I need somebody that's going to stay, not somebody that's going to be here and there. You know, I don't need anybody to be pivoting. I need you to be on our side. If you're going to be on our side, be on our side. He's like, yeah, okay. Well, listen, you know, you definitely can use me. I'm really good with numbers. Like, throw out any number. And he's like, okay. So he takes out his phone with the calculator. He throws some numbers at him, right? At D-Mac. And D-Mac, he's figuring it all out in his head and all of that. Like, he closes his eyes like he's some magic genie, mathematical genie. And he gives him an answer. And it's the right answer, right? So he's like, give me another one. Make it hard. Make it hard. So he gave him another, you know, mathematical problem. And he came up with the right answer. He's like, yo, it's crazy. Like, how did you do that? He's like, yeah, you know, I know this. I know math. Numbers are in my head. And when I was young, I didn't start reading until I was 6 years old. And yeah, because I love math. Like, I wasn't a dummy. They thought I was a dummy. No, I just love math and numbers. I'm really great with the numbers. So Tommy's like, you know what, man? I think I got a spot for you in my organization. D-Mac is happy. He's like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. So yes, Uncle Tommy is going to put his nephew on, but they don't know that they're related yet. Can't wait for that. So your boy JP with his deep voice is like Liliana. And Liliana is so like in love with his voice and everything else like that. So she's like, man, your mother made some, you know, real fine children. And they're both like, thank you. Right? So yeah, Liliana, man, I don't know. It looks like Liliana's really feeling your boy JP. I mean, JP don't got nobody, but remember, JP had a husband. So we're going to see what happens with that. But, you know, he's like, yo, can we just get down to this? Because Tommy's like, yo, we're not doing a family tree here, right? Are we working? He's like, yeah, we working. So Tommy wants Liliana to show JP the basics on how to cook things up in the lab so they can start producing more Dahlia for the streets and for the high demand that they have on the street. So, you know, she's just like, yeah, I heard you good with your hands because you was playing, you know, the trumpet. And he's like, nah, it was the sax. And she's like, oh, that's so cute. Like, she is like really digging your boy JP, his voice and everything else like that. So, you know, she's telling him exactly what he needs to do. And they're going to break stuff down. JP's like, yo, thank you for the opportunity. And Tommy's like, you don't got an opportunity, man. You don't know how to do this, da-da-da-da. Right? And then Liliana looks at him like, yo, calm down, bro. Calm down. Be nice. He's like, okay, well, you could do it. I believe you could do it. And if you can, then we're going to make this stuff happen. So Liliana's going to teach him how to do it. Basically, if he learns how to cook up, he's definitely going to be in the lab. He's not going to be in the street. And that's a safe place to be for JP. And that's exactly what Tommy wanted. He wanted him to be in a safe spot. So the boys come back to Jannard and say, yes, the Pilgrims have the Dahlia. He's like, the Pilgrims? You mean they got off the Mayflower? And you know, the guys with the curly hair? He's like, no, those are Hasidic Jews, man. He's like, Hasidic Jews, Pilgrims. Listen, they got the Dahlia. What you gonna do about it, right? So he gives them the 20 G's. They split up the 20 G's, 10 and 10. And Jannard is like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to go see them, and we're going to get the Dahlia, right? So now we see your girl Liliana, JP, and Tommy. Tommy comes back. He's like, how's he doing? And Liliana's like, yo, he has a real good knack for this because he has a steady hand and everything else like that. You know, he's really good with his hands. So your boy JP is like, I'm not going to let you down, bro. We're going to make this happen. It's all good. All right, so now we got a little family business going on. So Jannard rolls up on one of the Hasidic Jews who's carrying the package of Dahlia in a little white bag. He's like, yo, I know what you got. Give up the bag. Give up the bag. And of course, the guy's like, forget you, man. Forget you, right? Man, your boy Jannard takes out the strap and they start to get busy, man. Oh, man. And it's like, yo, it'd be easy if you was a pilgrim, right? Like, because the pilgrim probably would have gave it up. But yeah, your boy Jannard takes out the strap, uses it to get that Dahlia. And yeah, he gets away with that key. It's probably a key of Dahlia, man. $55,000, right? So Vic takes the advice and he packs up and he's about to go get Gloria to get out of town. Meanwhile, we're back at Gary, Indiana. And we got your boy Freddie Gibbs and the gang, right? The cousin. So Your boy Jannard brings a little valve of Dahlia and say, hey, this is what we messing with right now. And, Freddie Gibbs, the cousin buddy, he's just like, man, we don't do designer stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want longevity. And of course, Blacks is like, yo, just try it out, man. I'm telling you right now, just try it out. And yeah, you're going to feel it, right? So, they introducing the guys and Gary and Deanna to Dahlia. And yeah, they tried out. And he's like, man, this stuff is crazy. Like, how do I get my hands on it? How much is it going to cost? And Jannard is on some like, nah, it's not going to cost you anything, man. Just bring the straps and some bodies, man. Straps and some bros. And when it's time for y'all to come through to Chicago, I'm going to need y'all to come through to Chicago and basically blast everybody standing in between Dahlia and us having that Dahlia. So he's like, bet, we going to make this happen, right? We're going to make it happen. So again, Jannard has his own underhanded scheme going on. So now we see Glow and Vic, they're about to go out of town. They're talking. They're like, yeah, how about Gloria Flynn? And she's like, how about you take my last name? We'll start a fresh new start. They say, I love you and all of that. And it's all good. They're ready to start brand new. Got plenty of money, plenty of time. They're ready to start a brand new life. And listen, I'm all for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all for it. They're in love. Let's make it happen, right? So they're about to drive, but somebody hits the truck. Who hit the truck? And they hit it hard too, right? Really just blasted off the whole front grill of Vic's whip. It's like, what the heck? Like, crashed. Man, Vic got his head, cut on his head and everything else like that. And it seems like Gloria's okay, right? She's like, you're okay, I'm okay, everybody's okay, And she's like, your face, right? As soon as that happened, as soon as she said that, boom, the guy comes out the car and starts to spray Vic and Gloria's car. Like, man, like bullets flying everywhere, rounds flying everywhere, the straps, man, I mean, it's crazy. That was an ambush, definitely an ambush. And it looks like it's one of the Serbs, or we don't know if it's one of the Serbs. We definitely know it's not Walter, right? So Vic fires back. The guy is like scrambling or whatever, trying to take cover. He jumps in the whip. Another whip comes along and he jets off. So Vic is like, okay, he's gone. And he's like, Gloria, you all right? You okay? She slumped over, man. Oh, man. She slumped over in the car, man. Oh, shoot, right? So he's like, you okay, Glow? Glow, you all right? You all right? Come on, man. Come on, like, come on, Glow. And he pulls her up, and man, she got blasted. Ah, man, not my Gloria, man, not Glow. Why Glow had to go? She just came back. Man, your boy Vic is heartbroken, man. I'm feeling for Vic right now. I feel the same way, Vic. Our girl Glow, man, she's gone, bro. Ah, man, terrible, man. Rest in peace to Gloria, man. Like, she's now in the power graveyard. Why they do this? Why, Serbians? Why did you do this? We gonna get you, Serbians, right? Man, I feel for Vic. I definitely feel for Vic. So now we see your boy D-Mac. He's going into his stash. You remember he had a stash in the first episode. He's going in his stash, looking around, making sure nobody's seeing him. His little stash that he got, in this little alleyway, right? So he goes in the stash and he puts some money in there, right? That's a little stash. And then he puts the leaves back over it, right? Of course, he's making sure the coast is clear. Nobody's watching him. But this is his life. That's the life that he's living. He has his own little stash, but it's just, whatever. Who's around the corner? You know who that is. Your boy Tommy. Tommy followed D-Mac. So he waits for D-Mac to go around the building. And yeah, Tommy rolls up to D-Mac's little stash, all right? Yeah, watch this, fam. Because D-Mac's been following Tommy all this time, so now Tommy's going to follow him. He goes in the stash, and what does he do? He's looking. He's looking. We've been waiting for this moment. He's looking through this little stash, and what does he pull out? That's right. Finally, Tommy sees the picture of JP and a young boy on his back. That is D-Mac on JP's back as a little boy. And Tommy sees that. He's like, what? He knows JP? Oh, that's my nephew. Tommy put 2 and 2 together finally. I mean, I knew we was going to find out something, right? So he goes back to the crib. He's looking at the picture of him and Kate, his mom. And again, he's like, all right. You know, because JP, you know, wanted to call Kate, but, you know, Tommy didn't want to call Kate, you know, because the grandma died and that's her mother. So it's only right. JP's like, it's only right to call Kate, right? So Kate gets a phone call, right? And we think it's Tommy. And she's like, who the heck is this? And yes, JP. He gave the number to JP to call because JP wanted to reach her. He wanted to get in contact. He's like, it's your son. And she's like in shock. She doesn't say a word. She knows that that's not Tommy and that she does have another son. So she's holding the phone and she's like, oh my God, my son called me, right? JP, he wants to know his mom. He wants to know Kate. I mean, he has some questions that she needs to answer. And yeah, it's time for her to answer these questions as to why she left him. And at the same time, she's going to find out that her mother passed away. Wow, family. Okay, so that was the recap and review of episode 8 of Power Book 4 Force. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. Drop it in the comment box below. Again, if you're brand new and you're loving Power Book 4 Force, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Absolutely like. Comment below, family. This was definitely a crazy episode to me. Absolutely. On a scale of 1 to 5, what do you rate it? All right, I want to know your rating. But at the same time, we know it's about to heat up now because they try to get at Vic. And yeah, they took out Glow, man. Ah, man. Rest in peace, Gloria. We're going to miss you. All right. Gonna miss you. So you know what it is, fam. It's your man, VACAY-J. And until next time, salute.